yesterday. The Bucs Super Boat Party. This is great. Everyone out on boats. Sun's out, fun's out. Gronk was gone. But Brady let his perfectly coiffed hair down. Brady partied. Brady tossed the Lombardi trophy. Life outside New England looks good on Brady. Even Bruce Arians had himself a day. Take a listen.
Anybody that says running back, all right, that's Kansas City. We're going for two. We're going to keep this band together, and they know how to win, all right?
Greg Jennings knows a thing or two about a party with a Lombardi, though I doubt Greg was throwing his from float to float after he won. Greg, you heard Bruce Arians there. And you see, oh, this has to make you nervous. It makes me nervous every time I see it. You think the Bucs will be celebrating another one just like this time next year?
I truly believe they have a really good chance. When you hear a head coach make a statement like Bruce Arians made, it's all a credit to what he has in that locker room and the chemistry and the relationship. And just previously, you guys were talking to Shaq Barrett, and you heard him talk about the dynamic in the challenge that Bruce Arians presented to more than just the guys in the locker room, but Tom Brady as one of the guys in the locker room. And when you have a guy that can take on that, embrace it, walk in that, and shake it off and then deliver the way that Tom Brady was able to and continue to stay the course, you know you have something special. And in any type of relationship, it has to be tested through the fire. I know we talked about a lot about this entire season, the relationship and the dynamic between Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. But sometimes when you're in the face of someone and you have never been in their face and you're trying to get a feel and a grip on what makes them tick and what will get you and keep you motivated, you have to challenge one another. And that's what they've been able to do, and it's worked. But more importantly, Tom Brady has been able to create this culture of belief and desire to make every moment count and every play count and not look past each individual that's in front of them. And that's what gives a coach and an organization and players in the locker room the confidence to go out and feel like they can take on any opposition at any given time.
Right. 100%, Greg. I've been saying it all year, man. The value that he brings is not on Sunday. It's Monday through Friday and how he makes everybody better and he elevates everybody's game. But, Greg, it's incredibly hard to go back-to-back, man. 55 Super Bowls, only 8 teams have done it. 6 teams have gone back to the Super Bowl and lost it. One of those teams are residents GM's teams, the Kansas City Chiefs this year. And the team that actually went back-to-back and actually won it was one of Tom Brady's teams. But, Nick, they're going to repeat, brother. They're going to repeat. This team is going to be better, and this is how they're going to do it. You got to sign our guy, Shaq Barrett, back. That's one. That's the #1 priority. Second, you got to bring back AB or Chris Godwin because you got to have an option on the other side of Mike Evans. And last thing you do, you bring back Gronkowski. The chemistry that he brings to that offense and what he does in that locker room, he keeps everything kind of easy. Yeah. You got to bring that guy back. And the last thing, you got to build on the chemistry that you created this season, this offseason. They didn't have an offseason. So if they do that, man, it's going to be pretty back-to-back, brother.
Okay. So, listen, folks. I started the show. We were asked this question. I said, absolutely not. I then listened to Brandon. I then listened to Greg. I listened to Shaq Barrett, who I like a lot. I listened to Brandon again, and Wilds, I am coming around, and I know this is going to disappoint you, Wilds, because you like arrogant, standoffish Nick Wright, but I'm coming around a bit, Wilds, because I've thought about it.
Ooh.
And I do think that the Bucs, assuming that in next year's playoffs, in the first round, they play a sub-500 team who scratches their quarterback day of, And then in the second round, they play a 40-plus-year-old quarterback who can't stop turning the ball over while their 40-plus-year-old quarterback's interceptions are just dropped. And then in the third round, they somehow overcome 3-plus interceptions playing a team without their all-pro left tackle. And then in the Super Bowl, they play another team without their #1 overall pick left tackle. If all those things happen, yeah, they can win it again. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Alex Smith's going to get scratched, and Drew Brees is going to melt, and Bakhtiari's going to get hurt, and then Fisher's going to get hurt, and all of a sudden, we're talking about a stupid 7th ring for Tom Brady. I don't think that's going to happen again, Kevin Wildes. So no, they're not going to go back to back.
You know what?
It's ridiculous. I can't believe we're even talking about it.
We're finally
That's what you
back.
wanted.
I expected this guy on Monday. He was nowhere to be found. Tuesday, nowhere to be found. But here he is, America, back, and I'm gonna stoke the flames. Nick, if anybody can win one game, it's football, right? The Jets beat the Rams. Anybody can win one game. If the football was more like, I don't know, the NBA Finals or the World Series. And the Chiefs had to play the Bucs multiple times to determine the true best team, the true winner of the Super Bowl. It was a series. How do you think that would play out? Do you think it would still be the Bucs, or do you think the Chiefs have a
Carl
shot?
Sheffer's crew reffing all 7, or do we get a rotation? Because that affects my answer. I'm not sure. Because there was that new pass interference rule, which was Brady incompletions or DPI. So I don't know about that one. I also want to know, I'm just curious. I'm just asking, are all 7 games played in Tampa Bay? Or do we actually, the team that should have had home field gets it? Or is it the first ever home Super Bowl? So these are questions I need answered beforehand. I need to know before I answer this stupid hypothetical. That's my answer. I need more information, Brandon.
You have a complete team. You have a top 5 defense that's probably going to get better. You have a quarterback that can navigate you through situational football. That's the only thing that matters on offense. You can throw the ball. You got dogs on the outside, and you can run the ball. That running game is going to get better. So they have great chance of going back. Greg, the thing that we're not talking about, their #1 asset, Todd Bowles. I love listening to you call games because I learned something. Todd Bowles, man, phenomenal job. He is coming back. He didn't get a head coaching job. So what do you think that's going to do for this team next year?
It's going to do numbers. You got to think about what Todd Bowles brings to the table. He's not only a head coach in the D.C. position, but he's one of the most respected guys in all of football, and not just by coaches, not just by management, but by the players. And they love playing for this guy because he puts them in position to make plays. You know, and I know, you just want to make plays. I want to make every play I possibly can when my number's called. Well, Todd Bowles, the way he puts his guys in position, they all have an opportunity to make a play. It's up to you to make it. Either you make it or you don't. Guys thrive when they play in positions like that, and it becomes this competition amongst one another. And now coaching is made easy. So I love the whole coaching staff, but Todd Bowles, as you mentioned, he is what makes this team go.